Hey, how's it going? Ryan here. In this video, we're going to be showing you how to use the members area of the website. Now, you should already be logged in. You should have received the welcome email, and there's a video link in that email that shows you how to do the forms and all of the other stuff for the setup process. So if you have not watched that video yet, then definitely watch that video first. It'll show you how to do these forms, and then come back to this one. If you did not get the welcome email at all, make sure to let me know and I will resend that and make sure you do get that email. All right, so first let's look at the schedule. This is basically just going to be reminders for things that you need to update, such as the food diary. I just have an update for the first couple days to get you started. And then if you want, we can keep doing the reminders, or we can just leave them off. I find that most people don't want to get a ton of notifications. So really, this is just going to be if you're forgetting to do something, if you're forgetting to log something important, then we can start scheduling in some reminders. This example client just signed up today. So this Thursday right here is their day one. And we have an update progress picture notification. And then we have another reminder for it. For the second day, I find that some people will forget, so I have a reminder in for the second day too. So again, we won't be using the schedule a whole lot. It's mainly just for reminders in case you're forgetting something. All right, and we'll skip over the programs tab for now because that's going to be the bulk of the video, so we'll actually come back to that here in a second. Let's skip on to the coaching tab. You'll have the video tutorials, which you're already watching this website tutorial here, and there's also an app tutorial. This is basically going to be where a bunch of your helpful charts and things are, some helpful diagrams about proteins and carbs and stuff like that. And then those types of things will just be added in as needed. The only thing that you'll see to start with is this rate of perceived exertion table. And we're actually going to come back and look at that just a minute because it's important for the programs. So we'll collapse that, and then I'll look at this spreadsheet. This will probably be the only spreadsheet that you ever have. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Helpful tools and supplements. The food scale, the bathroom scale, and the measuring tape will be the only three things that you definitely need for the program. Everything else that I show you is going to be completely optional. So under the Taylor's tape, we just have some helpful little kitchen and food type tools. The supplements tab, we have the name of the supplement, when you might want to consider taking that supplement, and then a link to purchase that supplement. And again, all of these are completely optional. I'm not trying to push any supplements on you. These are just the situations when you might want to consider each of these again. So we have exercise tools. These are the things that I personally like to use, so I thought that you might want to use them as well. Again, completely optional. We have the name of the tool, when you might want to consider that tool, and then a link to buy that tool. Let's look at the lifting belt. That is probably the most common one. I would really recommend anybody get a lifting belt that's going to be lifting heavy with squats and deadlifts and stuff like that. Now let's move on to the next tab. Heart rate monitors is just going to be specifically if you have cardio specific goals. So we'll just go ahead and skip on to the next one. Myofascial release. This is going to be getting knots out of muscles. So say you have a knot in your back, you could use a tennis ball. If you have one laying around, just put it on the ground. Roll around real slowly on that knot to help get it out. And some other myofascial release tools that I like to use. And then some home gym equipment. These are just some basic things that you can put into your home gym. Again, all of this stuff is completely optional. If you are working out from home, obviously you'll want to pay a little bit more attention to this tab than the other people that are viewing this. So again, pretty much all of this stuff is optional except for these three guys right here. All right, now let's move on back to the tracking tab. We have an area to upload progress photos, and you can do this from within the app, and I would really expect that you're probably going to want to use the app anyway, simply because you can take the pictures from within the app. But if you do have the pictures on your computer and you want to upload them here, then that's perfectly fine as well. The food diary, we talk more specifically about the nutrition in the MyFitnessPal email that I sent out. So make sure to check out that email for the nutrition side of things. We won't look at that in this video. And then the results tracking. Let's take a look at that. So we'll have the body weight measurement, which is daily. And then we'll have calorie intake. Again, I talk about this more specifically in that MyFitnessPal email, so check that out. And then there's the waist measurement, which is weekly. So the conditions for both the waist measurement and the body weight measurement is I want you to do these first thing in the morning, as soon as you get out of bed, before you eat or drink or anything, before you get dressed, and after you use the bathroom. And that's going to give you the most accurate measurements, and it's going to eliminate as many variables as we can. So let's just go ahead and actually log a body weight real quick. So you'll click add results, and I weighed 185.6 this morning, and then I will hit save. And then let's also go ahead and log a waist measurement. Let me show you the other way you can do that. If you click view results, which I haven't logged anything under this example client, but all of your previous measurements would be right here. You can go ahead and hit add progress right here. So there's two different ways that you can do that. So you can do it from viewing all of the results, or you can just do it from the results tracking screen itself. So let's add progress, and notice that this is in centimeters, not inches. Centimeters is a little bit smaller of a measurement, so it's going to be a little bit more accurate, and we can see smaller changes. So I have a waist circumference at the moment of 80 centimeters, and then we'll hit save, and then we'll go ahead and exit out of that. And that's all there is for the results tracking. And then the forms, we won't touch on the forms simply because there is that other video that is in the welcome email that shows you how to do the forms. Now let's go back to the programs. So we have our cardio program and then our resistance training. So this is phase 1 for this example client. So let's look at the resistance training part of it. Let's look, so we'll have all of our workouts in this list here. So it's a 4-week workout. Let's just say that it's week 2, day 3. So let's hit view here. Okay, so we have all of the exercises that are for this workout. And then you will notice you have your sets. So for these particular exercises, it's going to be 4 sets of 3 reps. And the intensity, which is how much weight you're lifting, is an RPE of 7 to 9. Remember, a minute ago, I mentioned that there was the RPE chart. So we'll go back and look at that in a minute, and I'll explain what this RPE number is. So instead of having a specific weight listed or a percentage of a 1 rep max or anything like that, we're going to be going off of this RPE chart that we will look at here in just a second. Let's say that you don't know how to do a certain exercise. So you don't know how to do a neutral grip lat pull down. You can simply click this view button right here, and it will pop up a video that shows you how to do that. So you can see, okay, that's just a normal lat pull down, except for we have this grip where the hands are facing in towards each other. Okay. And then if you still are a little bit confused, there is a written description under the video. And then you can also record your results from here. Or if you are not sure that you're doing it correctly, then you can click record technique, and you can actually send me a video, and then I'll check your form for you to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Let's go ahead and hit X. Let's go ahead and let's log a set for the lat pull down. Let's hit add results. So you'll see it's set 1. We did 10 reps. It was a 7 out of 10, and we did 100 pounds. That's a nice even number. And then we'll hit save. So let's say we go on and we did our second set, hit add results. We did 10 reps. We'll say it was a 8 RPE, and again, it was 100 pounds. So you'll see that it automatically updates and says that we are on set 2 now. Go ahead and hit save there. And again, we'll talk about that RPE here just in a second. If you have already logged 3 days worth of sets for an exercise, then you can look at a chart. So I went ahead and put in several sets of an exercise, and let's look at the chart for that. The blue one here is how many reps we've done, and the weight is the red. So we started at 10 reps, and then we did 8 reps, and then we did 6 reps. And as the reps went down, we went up in weight, and this example client was feeling particularly strong this one day and did 95 pounds. So you can see the weight go up over time as the reps are going down over time. That might not mean too much to you at the moment, but we can talk about this more later on. And that actually does remind me, you will have a similar chart for the body weight and for the waist measurement. So you can see the body weight trending over time as well as the waist measurement trending over time. And we can talk about the graphs and things as time goes on. And let's just go back and look at that RPE chart now. So I've shown you how to log exercises and all that good stuff. So let's talk about the RPE. Now let's go to coaching. We'll look at this RPE chart. Okay, so RPE scale based on reps in reserve. So reps in reserve is basically how many reps you are from failure. So if you took a set all the way to failure, meaning that you took a set all the way till you couldn't do any more reps, that would be a 0 reps in reserve. So that would be a 10 on the RPE scale. So basically what we're doing here is we're taking how many reps we had left in the tank at the end of the set, and we're subtracting that number from 10. So if we went all the way to failure, we had no reps left, we couldn't have done any more, then that would have been a 10 out of 10. You could not have done more reps or more weight. So let's say you couldn't have done another rep, definitely, but you might have been able to put a tiny bit more weight on there and done the same amount of reps. So you might have been able to put 2.5s on each end of the bar and done the same amount of reps. That would be a 9.5 RPE. If you could have done one more rep, then that would be a 9 out of 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. And then 8.5 means you definitely could have done one more, might could have done 2 more. 8 would be you could have done 2 more. 7, you could have done 3 more, so on and so forth. And anything below 6, we're going to call a warm-up set. So if we go back to that workout, let's go back to the program here. All right, so on the day 1, week 1, day 1, this person's doing 4 sets of 14. So we have an RPE of 6 to 8 here. So that means we want to end each set between 2 and 4 reps from failure. If you're farther than 4 reps away from failure, then that is a warm-up set. This, I know, is pretty detailed, and it might be a little bit confusing at first. So if you are a little bit confused by it, that's perfectly fine. After you use it, this chart for a little while, then you will get better at it. So just make sure to keep doing it and doing your best with it. And if you have any questions on it, make sure to let me know. And then just the more sets, the more workouts you put in, the better you will get at judging how close you are away from failure, and you'll just get better over time at using that RPE chart. Now, if you have any questions on any of the things that we went over in this video at all, make sure to let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have for me. I definitely don't want you to be confused on anything at all. So make sure to ask me any questions that you might have. And then if not, then I will talk to you during our next check-in. Thanks.